Afternoon, and welcome everyone to the August 8th, 2024 meeting of the Fitchburg Board of Health. I now call this meeting to order. I ask that anyone in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify himself or herself for the record now by standing and stating your name and city of residence. Is there anyone recording? No. I invite anyone in the audience also who wishes to speak, please to approach the podium, identify yourself by name and address, and identify the agenda item in which you would like to speak, and then you may speak on it for no more than 2 minutes. Is there anyone who has an agenda item to speak on? Not so. And there is, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
My name is Edward Grork, and I'm here to represent Haji Ahmad, Royal. But I'm not sure where we are in the agenda.
All right. I think we have someone who's appearing remotely. We just want to decide when he will be on. And I think then there would be 1 or 2 quick announcements, and then we'll be dealing with the Royal Smoke Shop, and you'll have opportunity.
Fine. I'm just going to step outside and speak to.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't do anything without you. Thanks. So there was someone registered by remote, I think.
Still don't have anybody as of yet.
Not as of yet. All right. Well, then why don't we just go ahead with the announcements? I think you.
Yeah. Come on.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Go to the microphone.
Yeah.
You can hear me. Good afternoon to the board. Sue Christensen. I oversee the Outreach and Prevention Division. And as you may recall, a few years ago, about a year and a half ago, we received a Mass Call 3 grant. The goal of Mass Call 3 is the prevention of first use of substances by youth. Can't say it fast. So we were fortunate this year that a position was built into the budget. It is entirely grant funded, including benefits, so at no expense to the city. Fitchburg is a lead community for this grant. We are also working with Gardner, Leominster, and Winchendon. So this past spring, late spring, we conducted a series of interviews, and we were fortunate to find a great candidate who I have here with me tonight, Zulay Fernandez. Zulay comes to us from Community Health Connections, where she's worked for almost 20 years. Yes. She's well connected in the community with our agencies. She started on Monday and has really hit the ground running, and in fact is leaving here to go to an event tonight. So we're thrilled to have her on board and look forward to further updates as we move forward.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Could you just very briefly, Julie, just tell us what your background is? You said you worked at Community Health Connections.
Yes, so I was a community health center manager for 7 years, but been in Community Health Connections for 18. Background in dental, medical, behavioral health. So I've given a lot of my years to the community. I've worked with the homeless population, folks with substance abuse.
Are you a nurse by background or?
No, dental assistant, no nursing background.
Super.
Yes.
Okay, good enough. Well, welcome, and looking forward to working with you, and it's a great need in the community, so we're happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
And
Just one other comment. Congratulations and welcome, and she's made it 3 days, so. Saying so.
4 days. I will be back tomorrow.
Well, it's not quite over yet. You still got 20 minutes. Welcome again.
Thank you very much.
24 hours to the weekend. Not to say that's necessarily a relief, I think, but anyway, welcome, thanks. Steve, do you want to?
Thanks for coming in to meet with us, too. It was great.
Yeah, we can go back to it, seeing as though we got a room full of people.
All right.
All right?
Yep. The attorney for Royal, I think, just stepped out to speak to perhaps the owner. So I'm not sure. But perhaps
We could have
Yeah, we could ask you just to
No, we could do the brief update if that's okay.
do the grief update? All right. Okay, that's fine. Everyone all right with that?
So, Mr. Catalafamo is here. Am I saying your name right, Mr. Catalafamo? Close enough. Correct me if I'm butchering it.
Did you want to go ahead and provide an update then as to where we are with grief?
Well, good afternoon, board members, ladies and gentlemen in the audience. My name is Steve Catalfamo. I'm the plant manager at Greif in Fitchburg. I'm here today to give you an update on our progress with rebuilding our SBRs. It's been about a month. We were here before you on July 11th of this year, and today I'm going to go over, point by point what we accomplished to date on the project. On a daily basis, we have Greif personnel, contractors, consulting engineers, and other personnel on site to work on our project. We're basically working on a project on a Monday through Friday basis, weekends as needed, but we've made extraordinary progress on the project, only to the extent also that on a weekly basis, we meet with the entire team to review the progress we've made, any challenges, and also review our project Gantt to make sure we're on time and on schedule with the project. In the last week, we achieved two major milestones on the project. The first major milestone was we completed the entire rebuild of SBR number 2. On the 1st of August, we were able to pump the material that was in SBR number 1 into number 2, and number 2 SBR is fully functional at this time. On the issue of the SBR number 2, or number 1, we were pumping it. We thought it would take 3 days. We actually accomplished it in 9 days, so that was another milestone we reached for the facility. So I'm pleased to report that as well.
No, I'm sorry, did you get that? You said you thought it would take 3 days, but it took 9 days? Did you mean that?
9 hours.
Oh, 9 hours. Oh, okay.
9 hours.
Okay, misheard you then. Thanks.
So right now in SBR number 1, there's a lot of residual matter on the bottom of the floor of the SBR, and we calculated it's about 375 cubic yards of material. And what we're doing to remove that right now is we cut a maintenance hole on the side of the SBR, and we have a third-party contractor there on site right now with 2 vac trucks pumping the material out of that SBR, loading it into trucks to be brought off site to be incinerated.
Oh.
Okay? That process, unfortunately, will take 10 to 14 days, but looking at our Gantt, we're still on time and on schedule. From an overall project standpoint, we review any rebuild issues we have during the week, any modification requirements we need to make on the equipment, but our plan is to bring both SBRs, which number 2 is running right now, up to OEM specifications and guidelines. So I'm pleased to present that as well.
Just to interrupt you again, so SPR number 1 will be emptied out, then you're going to rebuild that one, is that it? And
it's completely emptied right now from a water standpoint. What we're doing right now is removing the residual debris at the bottom of the tank, and it has to be pumped out truck by truck. So we actually have 2 trucks working there. One truck is pumping, one truck is emptying, and then we're loading it to be brought off site to be incinerated.
And then once that's accomplished, the SPR number 1 will be rebuilt also?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, that's
right. We go through that, painstakingly, piece by piece. So along with all the work we're doing on the SBRs right now, we also are partnering with our suppliers to still control the odor within the mill. And we have made progress to reduce some of the VFAs in the mill, but that work continues on a day-by-day basis as well. One of the things I also like to do is thank Steve Curry for his assistance in working with our environmental consultant to gain access to Quick Click Fix. Just so everyone understands who our consultant is Epsilon. And what Epsilon is doing is reacting to the comments posted on Quick Click Fix to investigate and to report their findings on what they found, especially primarily in the West Fitchburg area. And what they reported to date so far was, not to much surprise, was a paper mill odor. And so what we promised to do for the board is to present you with the data that's gathered by Epsilon, to present you in a format within 2 weeks it should be completed, so you have a comprehensive report of what their findings are.
terrific.
And again, I anticipate that report to be, or reports to be done within the next 2 weeks. But in closing, I'd like to thank all of you for your patience and understanding and my ability to present to you today our progress on the project.
Well, thank you, and thank you for all the work you're doing to try to remedy this problem for the residents out in West Fitchburg. I think everyone appreciates it. Again, do you think then that much of the odor came from the SBRs, just somehow putting that odor out, and the rebuilding should help with that? I suppose that's what this is all about.
And again, tomorrow is a Friday, and that's when we usually have our project review meeting. So we're going to review the project status of where we are to make sure we're maintaining that timeline. And I'll keep Steve informed on all of our progress when we make. And Steve, feel free to reach out to us too if you have any questions.
Will do.
Great.
I appreciate the updates I'm able to share with the residents. I think those are very helpful for me and the residents. I think it's very
Thank you.
helpful. Communication.
Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Sure.
Once the residual stuff on the bottom of the tank is pumped out and moved out and taken away to be incinerated, then is there a way, or is the hope that with the rebuilding that you're doing, that that's not going to be an ongoing issue, or is that going to be an ongoing issue? Like, once this is pumped out and then you start using that tank again, then will the other tank need to have the bottom of that pumped out? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, ma'am. What we have done is number 2 tank, which we just recommissioned, we went through a complete rebuild. So we're going through the same identical process as we did for number 2, we'll be doing for number 1. So number 2, when we did pump that out, we did find some residual debris at the bottom of that tank, which we then removed, took off site, and incinerated. So we're going through the same process for the rebuild of number 1 as we did for number 2. So we're going through the cleaning process first, the deep cleaning process second, and then going through the rebuild of each component of the SBR to return it back into commission.
And what,
So is that part of the course, like as this part of this business and part of the work that they're doing, there's always going to be that sludge or residual on the bottom?
No, because at that time we were running the SBR as a bat. So all the materials that was in that SBR before settled to the bottom.
Yeah.
That should not occur this time. Plus, we have the ability to pump off the bottom now, which we didn't have before.
Okay.
So that material will not be at the bottom of the tank. That is the engineer design plan for the SBR.
so that's what the rebuild does, is prevent that the
correct.
reaccumulation of sludge. We understand now. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, terrific. Thank you so much again.
You said that would take 2 weeks to remove the
Well,
solids?
we're hopeful, Steve, it'll take less than that. Right now, it's the estimate based on the cubic yards. We are able to pump on a daily basis first what's in the tank. It should take 10 to 14 days, but we're monitoring that closely, and hopefully it's less.
Be very interesting to see if there are any odors involved once you remove the sludge, and that time period would be very interesting to observe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds as if you're doing everything you can to remedy this, so we very much appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Did you have a comment?
Hello, Laura Nickerson, Ward Street, Fitchburg. I do have a question for Mr. Catalafo. So do you think that pumping out the tanks will resolve the situation?
Well, pumping out the tanks is part
Steve, could you step up to the microphone?
Please.
Sorry.
No problem.
Or pumping out and cleaning the tanks?
Yeah, pumping out the tanks is part of the process of the rebuild. In order to complete the rebuild, we have to remove that material from the tank.
But do you think that process is going to resolve the smell from grief? Do you think the smell from grief is coming from those tanks?
Right now, we believe it is, and part of it is coming from the mill as well. As I stated before the committee, that is a paper mill odor.
Do you think it comes from the smokestacks?
I don't believe so, no.
What is coming out of the smokestack?
Smokestack we have on the property is for our boiler.
And so that boiler is for the heat of the plant, or is it?
It's for generating steam.
Is for generating. And the steam water, the water that generates the steam, is that recycled water from your process?
No,
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Bill Ewing, Ward Street, Fitchburg. What I have noticed is there are two distinctive smells. One from the area where you're talking about for the water treatment area. That's more of a sewage kind of a smell. But at certain times of the day and night, what I see from my porch is up to 3 smokestacks blaring out steam. So you got to have at least 3 there because I see them. And depending on the direction of the wind, that's when we get this more of a chemical odor. And I believe it's coming from the stacks. But like I said, it's 2 different distinctive smells. You have a sewage smell that's coming from the plant, the water treatment plant. You can smell it. You used to smell it different times of the day, or it would be very strong just driving by there. But the smells that we smell at night, or certain days, depending on which way the wind's blowing, is definitely a different smell, and coming from which I believe are the discharge pipes, whatever it is, steam or whatever it is. That's what I believe the smell's coming from.
Yeah,
it's more of a chemical smell, though.
Yeah, can you describe the smell, the odor?
It's a smell that I have never smelled before, but to me it smells more metallic-y, kind of a metallic, kind of burning, almost, it's almost the smell of a pot of water when you boil it out, okay, and you boil all the water out, and then you get the smell of that steel from the pot. It's almost that kind of smell.
Yeah,
That's what I think it is.
to the best of my knowledge, the only stack we have on the property is coming off our boiler. That powers steam for the plant.
So you're saying you only have 1 stack?
1 stack.
I've seen more than 1 plume of smoke coming up right from my front porch. We're up on a hill, okay? We look directly over. You can see the lights shining at night. You can see the lights where one of the stacks is, and it's just below the tree line, but you can see it shooting steam up. And I've seen up to 3 plumes. So,
Yeah, because we only have 1 steam generation point in the plant.
okay, so do you have more than 1 stack? That's my question.
That I would have to check, but from a steam generation standpoint of, emitting steam.
I know you have one big one there, yeah.
It's only coming out of one area, and that's our boiler.
Okay. So that's what I've noticed. So, but like I said, I've seen more than 1 plume of steam. It looks like steam. It's not smoke. And depending on the atmosphere, if you got a lower ceiling, if you got a foggy condition, that a lot of times will bring that smell right into our neighborhood because we're almost directly in line, being on a higher level. But I've smelled it as far down as like Once Upon a Tile. So, but not so much past that area. But you do smell it. It's a totally different smell than the water treatment plant. But that's my opinion, and that's...
Could I just ask, you said this is steam. Is it just water boiling, plain regular water that boils?
Just regular water. All the water we take right now is off the pond, Snow Pond.
Yeah. And that steam is, and what's the water and steam used for?
Water and steam is used for our, number 1, our process, number 2, for our boiler,
Okay.
to generate steam for the drying section.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay, I'd just like to state that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, maybe I could just ask one other question, and again, I want to thank you for all the work you've done. Is there something that's done periodically to clean the boiler or clean the stacks, or?
Well, we actually had a boiler inspection this past the 31st of July, in which we passed. It was by Factory Mutual. So, to the best of our knowledge, we know we passed the inspection. There's no other things we need to do with the boiler at this time. And there's chemicals that go in the boiler for treating the water and for maintaining the boiler. Aside from that, there's nothing else to report.
Well, it seems reasonable to wait and see what happens now once the rebuilds are accomplished and that process is going as it should. And then if that solves the problem, that's it. If it doesn't, then we can look more, I think.
Right.
But, yeah, thanks again
Thank
for
you.
educating us and for everyone's comments and help.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Just lastly on that subject, I guess periodically we'll update from Greif.
Yes, and I've actually prepared, when they give me an update, or at the end of the week, I have been preparing responses to the residents, and that seems to be helping with communication. I don't know if they have any comments on it. I know the group has grown since we started that, which was a week ago.
Yeah. And the process of the emptying out the current SBR number 1 is going to take another couple of weeks, he said, I think. And
I think the solids do have a big part of the odor problem, and I have noticed that chemical smell that you mentioned around Monty Tech area. I've never pointed it to the stack, so that's something I'll look out for the next time I'm out there. But it's kind of funny because I've never experienced that odor up at the condos where the prevailing winds mostly affect the odors, and it's odd.
A little higher.
Yeah.
Condos are higher.
But you're right, the ceiling helps, and then
Big difference.
a westerly wind definitely pushes it your way. And I've noticed for the last 2 weeks, 99% of the complaints that we have received are in the Ward Street, Wachusett Street area, Westminster Street, so they're not coming from the condos side.
Right, it's an elevation issue
Yeah.
and wind direction, I feel.
Thank you very much for your emails. That does help. Is there any progress in bringing that to the Click Fix dropdown that was alluded to in your meetings with the companies that you meet with on Thursdays?
Yes, well, I believe the IT department is working on that. I'll double check on that. Thanks for the reminder.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. I think that will be helpful.
Yes.
great. Well, we'll keep at it and hopefully get this solved for everyone. Thanks.
I wonder if anybody else is curious about the chemicals that he said that are used in the boiler system to keep it functioning. I mean, is there a way to find out what that is? Is it possible that that's what's generating an odor?
I'm wondering if that's a good, I'll speak to DEP, see if the particulate devices they use for measuring would help with that problem. And if so, we would apply to DEP to get some of those monitors, if it helps with it.
Right,
I think that answers your question, but I'm not quite sure.
right.
Yeah, they must have to use something to clean the boiler, so it's
Right.
a little bit between a rock and a hard place, but maybe it could be changed. But I think it's reasonable to wait and see what happens. I know we're stressing everyone's patience, but just see what happens when these tank rebuilds are done and see if that solves the problem. If it doesn't, then we can push on. I think we go in too many different directions.
Correct,
It's
yeah.
just going to be difficult.
Well, I agree that I don't want to make things more difficult, but whenever you hear that chemicals are being used for cleaning, that, for me, that raises a red flag for the possibility of respiratory issues, you know, just so it'd be interesting to know what are they using, and is that in any way harmful to not only the residents, but to the environment or and they passed their boiler inspection on July 31st. That's great news.
Yeah.
So the boiler's functioning, but I don't know anything about how to clean a boiler or what you'd need to put into it.
And they do obtain a permit from the Department of Environmental Protection regarding those steam stacks. He said just one, but I've seen more than one, too.
Okay.
So they do have a permit for that as well, so I'll check with them.
I think what he might have been saying is there's one boiler and maybe the steam goes through 3 different stacks, you know, but one source for it,
Yeah.
possibly.
There's definitely more than one, but I can't place it in.
It's a night when it's clear
Yeah.
to see it, because you can. And I wanted to take a picture one night because it looked like the apocalypse. It was just a crazy night, you know, but it was all lit up and there were 3 stacks just pumping it out. And, you know, I think it's great to have a company like that right up the street from us. But, you know, we are suffering some consequences. I don't want to see them lose employees. I want to keep them in business, but, you know, it's definitely annoying at times. You know.
Yeah, I think it's a problem everywhere that you have industry, and there's always that rubbing up against the population who live there and the work that's being done. But we're certainly going to do our best to solve this and make it better for everyone. Yeah. Hopefully we're making progress. Well, if that concludes that, I think we can move on to the next item on the agenda. Should I ask the tobacco folks to present first, or, I mean, I could summarize, I think, but you're probably better at it than I.
So Attorney Grierk and can take the other side in his client if that's acceptable to everyone. That
Thank you.
Sure. Looks like a courtroom now.
I didn't mean to create that.
No. Have the plaintiff go first, I guess.
My name is Jody Briganti. I'm with Tobacco Control, and I'm actually the person who completed the inspection. So back on December 19th, there was a retail education inspection at Royal Fuel Smoke Shop, and during that inspection, I found 2 violations. One was a state violation, and the other was a local violation. So the first violation is offering for sale a flavored tobacco product or tobacco flavor enhancer. And when you have a flavored product, with that, you do not have a manufacturer letter that would say that that product is non-flavored. If you go and look down into the box, it lists the additional violation and also the previous violations within a 36-month period. We have violations, 11-14-22, offering for sale a flavored tobacco product, 317, selling a tobacco product to a person under the minimum legal sales age, 12-14-21, selling a tobacco product to a person under the minimum legal sales age, which is a warning, and then another 10-11-21 of selling a tobacco product to a person under the minimum legal sales age. That was also a warning. Okay. So this would be the second violation in a 36-month period, and it's a fine of $2,000 with a 7-day consecutive business day permit suspension. The second violation was a local violation, and it was for a blunt wrap. When I was doing the inspection, there were 2 clerks at the store at the time, and they have a counter as you walk in. You pass some racks, and then there is a long counter at the back wall. So one clerk was at the register, and I was speaking with another clerk toward the end of the display case. A customer came in as I was talking with this clerk and asked the clerk for a blunt wrap. Now, Fitchburg has a blunt wrap ban, and I observed the clerk reaching into a bunch of plastic bags that were hanging that people put their products in, when they purchase them, leave the store. So after I finished speaking to the clerk, I went around and continued my inspection, and upon my inspection, I found those blunt wraps hidden in bags behind the register. So that is a $100 fine for a local violation.
Just for my education, I guess, a blunt wrap is exactly what, and why is it banned?
Well, it's in the City of Fitchburg regulations, and it's a whole tobacco leaf. I do have a copy of the Fitchburg regulations here, and it will define what a blunt wrap is. So would you like a copy of the regs?
Or you can just describe it for me.
Okay, so what it is, it's a whole tobacco leaf. Mm-hmm. And it's used for rolling either tobacco or other smokable products.
So it's really the container for tobacco. Correct. That's used.
Correct.
But there's a regulation against having those in.
Yes, within the City of Fitchburg.
Right. And that was the first violation on that particular subject.
Correct.
Right. Yes. The other subject of selling flavor-enhanced products.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the
products there, if you look at the violation, There is pictures of the products, I believe. And it's the hookah pop and the hookah gel.
Okay. And again, just,
And those are considered, they're flavored enhancers. So what they do is they enhance the flavor of the tobacco. It gives the tobacco a flavor.
and so that presumably entices individuals who perhaps wouldn't otherwise use them to use them. Is that,
Well, it flavors the tobacco.
yeah, makes it pleasant for certain folks. And there were some warnings given, you said, in
Yes.
October of 2021 and December of 2021?
Yes,
Yeah.
for selling to a minor. And there was a $1,000 fine on 3/17/22 for selling to a minor. They received a fine on that, and they received a warning on 11/14/22 for a flavored product. And I can look that up to see what product that was. I don't have that in front of me.
I think it's in our packet.
Excuse me. And so are those considered different, I don't know if the word's transgression or offenses? In other words, selling to a minor versus selling a flavored product?
They're treated equally in the state system. They are both finable. The first offense of either would be $1,000. The second offense of either is $2,000.
So a warning for one would carry as a warning for the other, per se, or count as a, in other words, that would be the first offense?
We don't fine separately.
Right.
So if your first fine was a sale to a minor, that would be $1,000. If your second fine was having a flavored product, it would be $2,000.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Well, anything to add immediately, or I think you've summarized it pretty well?
Well, we do have, there was a handout, and Joan has given me a lot of things today to hand to you, but there was what a tobacco product flavor enhancer is,
Oh, okay.
the definition. Would you like a copy of this?
Sure, I think we have it.
Thank you.
Copy.
And this was actually the first time I had seen the hookah pops, and then I've seen it subsequently since. It's one of the products, the newer products that came out. But this was the first time I had seen that particular brand.
Yeah, it happens in the industry. I don't know if you're aware of it. Newport came out with this new non-menthol cigarette, and now after 1 year, state decided that it's flavored. So now we have till September. So
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you speak into the microphone. So just before you do, shall we let him speak, and then you can speak to again if need be? All right, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Let me introduce, this is Umar Iftikhar, and he's actually planning on buying this business.
Oh,
So Mr. Ahmad, who is the present owner, he's, and by the way, my office is in Pawtucket, but I am admitted in Massachusetts to practice, just to let you know that.
Right.
And Mr. Ahmad owns several convenience stores in the state. He generally has a good track record, but in recent years, he's spent most of his time in his native country. And so, admittedly, there might be a lack of oversight at the store. So much of the information comes from employees. But there is a...
yeah, I can provide some information regarding.
so, but just to continue, so you weren't there at the time this all occurred, or were not the owner anyway?
Well, actually, nobody's ever there, but correct. I'm going to be the new owner, but we reached an agreement in February. They've been trying to find a new owner for a while, but so in February, after that, we have this violation. So I try to back out of it, but then I can't. So now we are like stuck in between, depending on what happens here.
I see. So again, so I understand you were considering buying the business prior to these violations having been committed.
Correct.
When you found out about them, you thought maybe I shouldn't buy this business? And
Yes, but then
but maybe you somehow
Yeah,
were committed.
It's not that easy to back up.
Yeah.
So a few things I wanted to say. So the flavor, it's a crazy industry right now regarding tobacco. Since Massachusetts banned flavors, and a lot of companies try to come up with some ways to, I guess, sell flavored tobacco or in somehow.
Circumvent that, in other words.
Yeah, so, yeah, you can say that. So they come up with these liquids or like, and they say it's not a flavor, but I guess it gives a flavor, that's why people buy it. So same thing, Philip Morris, Newport, the company who sells Newport. Newport is, I guess, the biggest seller in the United States when it comes to menthol cigarettes. So when Massachusetts banned it, Massachusetts didn't want any kind of flavor in any tobacco. So it took them about a year or so. Then they came up with something new. Same packing, everything, but they called it non-menthol. So everybody was selling it legally for like, I don't know, it's been a year, I guess, maybe like at least 7-8 months. And now all of a sudden we started receiving letters from the, state that it's flavored in like what she found, that enhancer. So something is in there that's giving the menthol taste, but they're saying it's not menthol. So, so now we have to take those off shelves by September, I believe. So
July 6th.
July 6th, but I thought they extended the...
Did they? If they did, I didn't.
Yeah, I received a notice that they extended the date, but we'll get them off the shelf. So that's the thing. And about the wrap, so the wrap, that's a funny story as well. So the wrap, if it's open, right, the leaf is open, it becomes a wrap. If you roll it and put it in the same packet, it becomes a cigar. So the wrap that she found at the store, exact same wrap, now is at the store in a cigar farm. All they have to do is just open it and spread it, and there you have it. So, it's just trying to, like you said, come around and, try to sell the same things in a different form. But I guess if the city banned the wrap, if you count that as a wrap, then it is a wrap. But that's my explanation what that is.
Yeah. And again, just, you were not the owner at the time this occurred, and you weren't...
I'm still not the owner, but I have everything ready to go.
Right.
I have the licenses from the state and everything, but I haven't filed with the city yet.
So, in other words, if there were a suspension handed out, it would affect you and not the previous owner who was there at the time that
Correct.
was the owner at the time this all occurred. And go ahead.
Well, I have a question. So the licenses are in your name?
No,
They're not?
no.
I thought you just said that the licenses, you had the licenses.
No, first we have to apply with the state, and then we'll go with the city, because we need the state licenses in order
Correct,
to...
but if you're applying, that means you must have purchased.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to back out of the agreement, but I can't, so I have to go forward with it.
So who owns the business?
The violator.
Who?
The business hasn't changed hands.
The initial person who was the violator at the time, I think he's saying, yeah.
Can I come back?
Could I clarify one thing first, just before you do, Dana? The flavored tobacco that you found, was that the non-menthol?
No.
No.
So what I found is they're called hookah pot. There's, a hookah? It's the contraption that
yeah.
you put tobacco in, you
Yeah.
smoke it that way. But they have these...
I've been to Egypt and all those places.
So they have this, this gel that you can use, which is found in a tub. It looks like a bunch of... it's just in a tub. And then what I found in this store, it was the first time I'd found it, are these pops that go on the end of the hookah. So when you breathe it in, they flavor it. So, they have multiple flavors in this jar of... in
the pots, per
of the
se.
pops. And they look like candy. It looks like the the advertising kind of looks like the
So it's-
low pop.
What
you know,
she's saying
blow
is
pop.
it's the tip. The tip,
Right, and that's a flavor, it's a
Tip.
flavored enhancer is what it is.
Is there actually tobacco in the
There is
hookah?
not, no.
So this is not really flavored tobacco, it's just a...
But it's a flavor enhancer,
Enhancer.
which is against, it's
Even
not
though-
allowed, flavor enhancers are not allowed to be sold in Massachusetts.
Even you mean of any kind, even of boiling water, let's say, or...
To enhance the flavor of tobacco. So in
But
the,
there's no tobacco in there.
but the tobacco smoke goes through the pop, and then when you inhale it, it's flavored.
So there is tobacco somewhere, is what I'm saying.
Yes. But there's actually in the piece, no.
Oh,
So it has to go through it. It's kind of like if you had a flavored King Palm roll. So you would put your tobacco in that, the flavored, say it's grape, palm leaf.
yeah.
And so you put your tobacco in that, it would flavor that.
So the hookah generates tobacco smoke, and then by the time it gets to the person, it goes through this flavor
Correct.
enhancer, and
Right.
Maybe I can give you a better example. So, you know, the cigarette has that, on the tip, it has that foam or filter in it.
yeah.
So it's basically if there's nothing in the tobacco, but you put something in that filter, when you're smoking, then it comes through that filter and it gives the flavor. So that's what it is.
So you're actually not flavoring the tobacco itself, you're flavoring something
Yeah, it's like a
between the
filter, it
tobacco.
goes through it, and then it gives some kind of flavors.
And that's what's against the law to do, to
Right.
enhance that? Okay. You had a question, Diane? Thank you. I don't do these things myself, so I need an education.
Yeah, I did. I thought I had forgotten the question, but it was coming back to the wraps that were in a bag, like a bag that you'd buy your juice or your gum. And
They were hidden. So it's behind the clerk.
Exactly.
There was a bunch of white and black bags that
Yep.
you would have just grabbed one, put the goods in it, and the customer would be on their way.
Right.
So when I saw the clerk reach in, he reached kind of behind.
Yep.
So behind this big display of bags was another bag filled with the blunt wraps.
So he pulls one out. Somebody wants to buy a wrap. Pulls one out from the hidden area in the bag. Is the leaf, the tobacco leaf, in a separate wrap? Or are they individually wrapped, or are they just all loose leaves in a bag?
It's one big tobacco leaf, and it's kind of folded, and then it's
Okay.
put in a clear cellophane
Okay,
with whichever. I think this was a Fronto wrap.
all right.
That there was actually two kinds that were being sold.
So that's not legal. And what you're saying is that it's the same as if you buy a cigar, you open up the cigar, you've got the same thing, a leaf. But it's
Correct.
legal to sell a cigar,
Yeah, but illegal to sell it as a leaf.
but illegal to sell it as a leaf.
Leaf.
And illegal to sell it to a minor, to
Definitely,
somebody who's underage.
definitely.
Yeah.
So the blunt wrap, it's like a big leaf like this. And since some cities banned it, some don't, some allow it. So when the vendors come, they have no idea themselves. They come from all over the place. They're like, oh no, this is legal, but nobody does any research about it. Nobody goes to ask health department, give consent. They said not. They find out when they get a violation, but then they roll the same leaf and put it in the same packet, and all of a sudden it's legal now.
Yeah, interesting.
Catch-22, almost.
And you
Maybe.
said, oh, go ahead.
And so this great big long leaf that you have that's kind of folded in its own cellophane wrap, you're going to use that to roll several different things with, or just one?
So it's usually used, they can roll tobacco in it,
Yeah,
you can roll whatever, marijuana.
whatever.
Yeah.
But do they use that whole big leaf, or do they cut it up in pieces?
I think they cut it because they cannot, it's a big leaf.
Big, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So they
Thanks
cut
for
it
the
in
clarification.
season.
Just got to get a visual.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I guess, how many folds does it take to become a cigar from a leaf? I don't know.
It's
If you
easy.
fold it 3 times, it's a
just like,
cigar.
if leaf is right here,
Yeah,
like a paper,
Yeah.
you just do this,
yeah, that's a cigar now.
and now it's a cigar.
Like,
And the person who's buying it, all they have to do is just open it. It's a leaf.
Yeah. And what you found was something in between. It was not a big,
I can show you a picture, not of the specific one, but I can show,
well,
if I scroll back far enough, I can.
yeah, I mean, it was just folded leaf.
Yeah, folded leaf, just like, so basically what she found, it was like this in a wrap,
Yeah, gotcha.
not in a cigar shape.
Yeah. It's an interesting situation.
I'm telling you, in this industry, people are trying to come up with different ways just to sell, because the tobacco, people are getting away from it. So now that there is more awareness, but big companies, they're just still trying to find some, I guess they're trying to squeeze the last penny.
Of course.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
So what is your responsibility here? I mean, I understand you,
So-
let's assume that we say, you know, what was done was illegal
Yeah.
and there, these fines
So
are
I
just-
have a business already in Massachusetts. So I have information like how all this, like what the products are and how everything works. And he's representing that, so he doesn't have any idea. And I am the new owner, so I'm just here to explain what happened, like from my investigation, what happened.
But, well, I guess I'm just looking at this now as a human being. It doesn't seem to me you have responsibility for this. You didn't
Yeah,
own it.
no, but I'm going to be a new owner, so whatever happens here today, I still have to apply for a new license.
Yeah.
So
if there
I'm
were
going to be
suspension-
responsible for,
If there were a suspension, it would affect you, not the previous owner, it sounds like.
yes, because I have already,
Yeah.
money has already transferred hands.
But you weren't the owner at the time that this happened.
No.
I mean, you might have been on paper, but you weren't there. As you said, nobody's there. You,
Yeah, so if once the license is transferred or anything happens again, I'm responsible.
yeah. Steve, why don't we ever get easy ones?
Welcome to the wonderful world of the Board of Health.
Well, you know,
May I interrupt?
Yeah.
Can you explain what happens when the previous owner has outstanding violations?
Well, I thought that you had not become the owner yet. That's what you said previously, correct? You're not officially the owner?
Right.
I'm not officially the owner, but we are in a process, so if this is suspended, like I am the owner, but I'm not really an owner on the paper. So if this doesn't get suspended, I apply for a license tomorrow, and then I start doing the sales, right? So it's all on me. But if it gets suspended, it's on the previous owner, and I don't want to get like a bad reputation on because if 7 days it's no sale of tobacco or anything, so that's going to affect the business. That's why I'm trying to, avoid, because I have already purchased the business.
It's going to affect his ability to apply for the permit in the city as well, once the facility has outstanding,
So there's a new owner, basically.
if
Yes.
he became the new owner, and the previous owner had outstanding,
So this wasn't rectified in time before the sale went through? Is that?
This happened after the sale.
No, this happened
Before.
December 19th.
before.
This happened December 19th.
So we had agreement before it.
Well, it happened after the agreement. I mean, after the agreement, but before the sale was completed.
So they had an agreement in place prior to
Yeah, we had put-
December 19th.
Yeah, we have put down the deposit and agreement that, okay, that I'm going to buy this, but then you just keep dragging, because of this. Because,
How do you sell a business when he's not even around?
hmm?
How do you sell a business when the original owner isn't even available or around?
No,
Yes,
we
other
had a
businesses.
meeting when we had a meeting, like it's been a while now, it's like 7-8 months now. So we had a meeting, we said, okay, we'll buy this, this and that, and then, okay, give me some kind of deposit, and then we'll have a basic agreement. And then I'm, okay, we'll give the deposit, and then since then this happened, I'm trying to back out of it, but I can't.
The other concern of mine is there is language regarding avoiding facing the penalties and delaying it due to a sale. I think it's walking into that language. But always looking, not trying to make it more complicated, but
Well, I don't know. To me, it seems this gentleman really had nothing to do with what happened. It'd be like if someone shot somebody with a gun and you came along and bought the gun, you're going to be punished for the shooting. It's not the way it is. I mean, the business is just the vehicle you bought, but you haven't had control of it.
So the thing is, I'm losing either way.
right.
So if you guys suspend it, I still lose. If I don't buy it, I still lose. So that's the problem with me.
Well, so there's the fine, that these fines that are due, can they go to the person who owned it at the time? No suspension, but the fines, because he was the owner at the time that these things occurred. Seems to me that person, and I don't know if you must be paying some money to buy this business. Maybe he has the money to.
At this point, I think the suspension hurts more to me.
No, I'm not. I'm saying no suspension. I'm saying.
Yeah, if the fine, I'm pretty sure they can pay the fine, so I can. Even if they say they don't want to pay, they put it on me, I wouldn't mind paying the fine, because at this point, it would cost me more than $2,000.
Again, I'm
Okay, so no new permit can be issued without fines being rectified. So it needs to be resolved, the 2,000.
No, I agree with that, and I think, my personal feeling is the person who owned it at the time it occurred should pay the fines. He's saying, for the sake of convenience, I think that's what he's saying,
Yeah, I'm
rather than
saying,
go
like,
through all
if
this.
I have to pay that fine, I would pay the fine,
Done with it.
because it hurts me more.
Right.
If they don't pay the fine and we're in the middle and my money's stuck.
Yeah, but basically going to what I think is fairness, I don't think it's fair to suspend him for a week when he's buying a business, he's trying to get it started, and he has nothing to do with the previous offenses, and we're punishing him. It's, to me, that isn't fair.
Well, technically, it's the previous owner getting punished, but if you really look at it, it's not the previous owner getting punished.
Well, it would be you who
Yeah.
taking the business over. Unless it's, as you say, the business is functioning right now, right? It's making sales, so it's not that it's empty. We could suspend it for a week while there's nobody there. It wouldn't make any difference either way.
Right.
But you want to get on with the permit. Sounds like the fees have to be paid, fines have to be paid.
You do have some leeway in regard to the permit suspension. State fines are set.
No, I agree with that. I think, certainly he was warned, the previous owner was warned on 2 or 3 occasions and still committed the offenses. So I think that the fine should be paid. I agree. I personally think it should be the previous owner, but if he's saying it's much easier if he just does it and gets it done with, that's up to him. But I don't think, my personal feeling is I don't think the suspensions are fair to him because he had nothing to do with it. It's just punishing him.
We have some method of communication so that the previous owner, current owner, can pay the fines.
The previous owner?
Yes.
Well, to me, that resolves it. I mean, I don't think we're going against any laws if we do it that way.
So are we talking about the first violation, the one for $2,100 and the 7-day? Because we still have the second one. I'm sorry, the third violation
And that's a suspension violation, or?
with a 30-day permit suspension. But I do have,
I don't understand how a suspension affects you now. You don't even own it.
Yeah, but if by the time the suspension is over, there is nothing left.
Kills the business.
Yeah.
Is there?
It's not, a suspension would not punish the previous owner. It's punishing him. And,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, and the fine punishes the previous owner and not you, as long as he
But that
pays
money
it.
will come from their pocket.
You know, and I agree, if this transaction weren't taking place, I would favor fines and suspension, but the suspension isn't going to affect the previous guy, because he tried to back out, and then it would have affected the previous guy, but apparently there's some legal ramifications where you can't back out. So he's got the business, and we're just punishing him if we suspend it, suspend the business. And I don't think that's fair to him. That's just what I'm saying. But I think the previous owner can still pay the fines. And so if you want to get away with this kind of thing in the future, just keep selling your business. You remember that for next time. No. Anyway.
so Joan's recommendation is a responsible finding for the $2,000.
Yes.
And with leeway on the permit suspension if you don't want.
Yeah, I think we have to make a vote on it, but I'm just giving what my inclination is, I guess you'd put it that way. I think the fines and the suspension are fair, but it's not fair to him. We're suspending, we can't suspend the other guy because he won't own it anymore. And it's just punishing him who had nothing to do with this. And I think that also goes for the fines, but if he says, gee, I'd rather just pay him and be done with him, that's up to him.
I also misspoke. It was $2,100.
$2,100, yeah. Diane, do you?
I'm going to make a motion that we go with the recommendation to levy the fine, so the fine will be paid with no suspension.
And I'll second that. I'm sure it's a very difficult business that you're in. I mean, next it'll be Cheetos, something.
I also have a concern that is there anybody managing the business now?
Well, ownership is not present.
Yes.
So clerks are doing whatever they can do.
So, may I just have a question. So, you're the owner now, correct? Yes. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm asking,
Well, so the sale is not, he doesn't have the licenses from the city yet, so.
He's the owner, but he doesn't have the
Is lottery in his name?
No.
No, so,
I don't have anything on my name.
So, if you're selling tobacco,
I'm not selling.
you're not selling tobacco
No.
at all? There's no tobacco in your store?
I cannot sell anything because there's nothing, I don't have a license from
Okay.
anybody. From
All right, that's what I was wondering.
yeah, so the store is still under the name of Haji Ahmad,
The previous owner.
previous owner.
Right, but you can't sell under his license if you're,
That's why we have to resolve this first in order for me to get the license.
okay, but you do have a DOR?
DOR, yes.
Okay.
What does DOR mean?
It's a Department of Revenue. That means that you would have had to submit your purchase and sale agreement.
No,
You're,
you don't submit.
don't?
it, No. So with the state, we don't submit purchase and sale agreement. We just fill out the application and they issue the license But that that license is only good if we have this license from the city. And city doesn't issue any license until we have the license from state. So state is the first step. So I
Right.
took that first step.
Yep.
Second step, I don't have.
And a suspension would interfere with that process, I think.
Correct.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, the suspension would interfere with it, but you don't have nobody can sell tobacco products right now?
Yeah,
in your-
nobody be able to sell it.
Right now,
Right now, yes.
until this is all resolved.
Correct.
That was why I asked. How does that affect you?
So what do you do with all the tobacco products that you're going to be waiting to sell when it gets resolved? Where are they now, the products?
No, products is still there.
Okay.
I have to, so once the sales go through, I get the license, then I'll have to purchase the inventory, whatever is there at the store.
I see.
So if a suspension were to start today for 2 weeks, will you have resolved this? In other words, would that, I mean, you
what
can't sell tobacco anyway, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna stay at store, it's either gonna expire or whatever happens. So my deal is that when I purchase the business, I'm gonna purchase the inventory as well.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, if let's say we started the suspension right now, and it went for a week, is it? The suspension's
It was a 7-day suspension.
7
Then
days.
you also mentioned into the month.
Yeah, there's another violation.
Yeah, so if you put everything together,
I think totally it's 37, right?
It's 37 days.
I see. Yeah, I
But
was
that's
gonna-
why
I was going to say for a week, if you can't sell it anyway, it probably doesn't make much difference if we suspend it.
I
But,
think we've already decided not to suspend it.
yeah, we did.
We've already, we already decided that.
not to suspend, no, I was just thinking about it in retrospect, because he said he can't sell tobacco now anyway.
see.
So if you suspend it for a week, not going to make any difference, but it's 37 days. I think that's much more, and I don't favor it.
So there's the next violation, which was on June 13th, and that's why I asked about when you purchased, because if you had purchased prior to June 13th.
yeah, so I think your question is if I'm operating this location right now, and, right?
No, so this is for Royal Fuel Smoke Shop. In their tolling period, this would be their third monetary fine, their third violation. So it's a $5,000 fine.
So when the first letter came in, since then we've been debating, like I've been telling that I want to walk out, and it's been just basically on autopilot right now. So it's doing whatever it's doing while we're trying to figure our stuff out. And I'm here because it turns out that I cannot back out. So I'm just here to actually plead not to suspend, because that would affect me in the future. That's what I'm just trying to say.
But now you're bringing up another fine for $5,000?
Yes, so usually within a few months after we discover a violation, we go in and do a reinspection of the store. But we had waited because the hearing kept being put off
Yeah, because
for
we
a
were
variety of reasons.
fighting. It was a fight.
But it's really important for us to get things done prior to the end of the fiscal year. So I went in and did an inspection on June 13th to clear the violation. And during that time, I did find a flavored product that was, every year we bring in a retail education packet, and it's one of the newer products that came out. And so we had specifically warned our retailers about these products. But if you were transferring ownership, you might not have received
Well,
that
we weren't
information.
really transferring, we were basically fighting with each other to resolve that, like, I don't want to have anything to do with it, but then I can't. So it turns out that it's better for me to take over at this point, you know, to run it instead of
Yeah.
backing out.
Well, and we hope you will. It's, hopefully it'll be a good business for you.
For the third violation, Joan did recommend continued without a finding, meaning that if say the sale does not progress, that the original owner remains the same, it would go on their record, that it would be a $5,000, they would have to pay the $5,000, serve the 30-day, and then their next violation would go on top of that.
Mhm.
So, but that's her recommendation for this.
And this was June 13th that
Correct.
this occurred? And so you weren't the owner as of June 13th? Or?
If I can add something. If you ask me, I think it's better if this sale go through. It's better for the city as well, because I am present, I'm running the business, I have other businesses. If this ownership doesn't change, I don't see how things will change here. That's my personal opinion.
You mean the current owner would stay and there might be further additional violations?
Yeah, there'll be more stuff going on. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in this business for a little bit, so.
Well, I was happy with the resolution that we came to initially, that is the $2,100 fine to the previous owner, no suspension, and don't say anything else. And we'll take it from there.
So do you need a motion then to put that second violation to just let it be
So
on,
this would be Royal Smoke
third-
Shop's third violation.
third
It's
violation.
a $5,000 fine
right?
and a 30-day permit suspension, finding the owner responsible, but continued without him finding, which means that they don't have to pay the $5,000 unless there's another violation for the previous, for the owner.
For the new owner?
No,
No,
for
no,
the
the other-
original owner. So when he becomes the new owner, he gets a whole new record.
Yeah.
Clean slate.
Clean slate, it does not, because he will be a new owner.
I think that's fair.
But when licenses are applied for and so forth and so on, it has to be a fair market value bill of sale. It can't be a dollar,
Yeah. Do we need a motion to that effect, do you think? Well, then I will make a motion to put the third violation with the attendant $5,000 fine and 30-day suspension on hold.
I'll second that.
That was easy.
It was?
No.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, I hope it was
Thank you,
fair.
folks.
That's what we would like.
We'll find out if it's fair once I start running the business.
Good luck.
Well, you're not the first person who's been here running a convenience store or business, and I gather from it that it's not an easy job to have. I mean, you've got lots of different products, there's lots of things to keep track of, there are other
The
individuals.
problem is employees,
I was
clerks,
just going to say,
they get lazy, they stop checking IDs. That's the biggest problem we have right now.
yeah.
What did you say they stopped doing?
They get lazy, they stop asking
Oh.
IDs, so they just start going by the face.
Yeah.
So if a high school or football player comes in, they're going to look like they're over 21, but they're 18, 17, 18. There you have a violation.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for everyone's input, and safe trip back to Pawtucket.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And good luck with the new business.
Yeah,
Thank you.
look forward to not seeing you here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Diane.
And I'll just make one announcement, and we can move on. Thursday, August 22nd,
At 6 o'clock in our Upper Common, the Fitchburg Upper Common, we will have our annual overdose awareness vigil. We ask people, folks that have lost lives due to overdoses or overdose or continue to struggle with the disease, you are welcome to join us at the vigil. There will be resource tables and speakers. Again, that's in the Upper Common, and that's Thursday, August 22nd, 2024.
Right. Great. There were a couple other announcements. Did you want to make those, or do you want to go to the minutes of?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the minutes. In October, a little bit advance. I don't know how I got that on the agenda. It was a note to myself, but in October, we will also have our annual health resource fair. We will have over 70 tables, and the fair is located at the senior center. It is from 4 to 7, I believe. But I will have more details on that forthcoming, hopefully by the next meeting. We will also do some flyers. But it's Thursday, October 17th, from 4 to 7 at the Senior Center. And we will supply more info as things come together.
Super. Okay. All right. And then lastly, I think just would be approval of the minutes of July 11th. And I think at that meeting, as I went back through them, we had also tabled minutes from the previous meeting that was from April, I think it was. And I personally went through them. I didn't see any real changes to be made. So did you happen to see anything?
No, I would make a motion to accept the minutes from the meeting
Okay, both of April and of July.
in July.
And I would second that. Karen never makes mistakes, so. Very easy. And with that said, unless there's any additional, so the remote person never came on? There was,
No,
no.
no.
What's the Riverfront Park? That is a Recovery Month outreach celebration?
Yes, that's in September 19th from 10 to 2. We go down to Riverfront Park. It's really not open to the public, so I'm not sure why I put that on there.
Oh,
But,
okay.
but we do have a tent down, and we bring services down to our unhoused population, and
I see.
AIDS Project Worcester joins us. We might be able to provide some vaccines to anybody that has a need or a want, and it was kind of a reminder to myself, but
Okay,
when you cut and paste, you tend to go a little crazy, but
okay,
it's
so
not really a public event, but it's something we provide to the,
it's just an outreach. It's
an outreach
event.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, then if we're all set, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting of August 8th, 2024.
I'll second
I
that.
think it's up to you, or I'll make it, yeah. All right, then I adjourn the meeting. Thank you.